So I first met Hala. She was actually my RA, and I would say like just from that, just right off the bat, I could tell she was already like a super warm and caring person. Like she would care about you if you were like feeling down or if you needed help or anything like that.
It was always nice to have her. She stuck with it. She was very organized as well, and she's very attentive in meetings. She always had cool story ideas too.
She's so down to earth and so real, and I think that's a quality that's going to really aid her in life.
She was always quick with a joke. She was always, there to get the energy of the place if it was ever down and get back up.
Hala came in and got involved in our circulation last year and really played a vital role in getting the newspaper out, which is sometimes something that the folks producing the newspaper forget about. They send it off to the press and think it's over, and there's a whole nother process that begins after the newspaper comes off the press.
I remember earlier in the semester when I started talking with her and Skylar and Alex a lot more on Wednesdays when we'd get the newspaper in, and her and Skylar would be in there like putting them in the envelopes and stuff to be sent out to high schools around the state. We'd always have what we called our trauma dump sessions where we would just talk about our traumas in life. And honestly, those are really good bonding moments. I always thought they were just fun people to hang out with, and having Hala here has been a great thing with the Antelope.
Hala is also really fun to be around. I always enjoyed talking to her about super corny movies like Velocipaster and Llamageddon. She always had the most random, like, out-of-place movies that she would bring in, and we would start talking about it, so that was always really fun.
Hala has kind of been the bridge between the language arts department and the communication department, showing that you don't have to be a journalism major to be in the newsroom. But the amount of knowledge that she has of campus is just super impressive, and we've gotten some of our best stories just from Hala and the tea that she's spilled at our news meetings.
My favorite memories of her is, so we're actually in a class together right now. We're in acting, and we are working together on a scene, and she actually plays my mother in the scene that we're doing, and it's just a super fun time whenever we get to rehearse our scene, whenever we get to perform it in front of other people. We just have a blast. So
Zyra Lopez has really transformed our paper. I know she was a little intimidated to be taking on such a large position this semester, but she's done things with design that we had only mentioned or talked about briefly, and she's also done a great job of teaching people in the newsroom. I can tell that she's super passionate when there are times that we are just kind of dead inside. She's always like, let's go, we're getting this done at 1 p.m. And then it's like 4 p.m. And but still, even then, she's like, let's push ourselves, and let's make the paper better by putting in a ton of work and by pushing one another.
I've been really impressed with the way she has managed the production, managed the operation, and made sure that the paper was ready to go on time on Tuesdays to the press.
Zyra's very hardworking. She will stay here just like a lot of people on the Antelope, and will be here until the early hours of the morning to make sure that everything is absolutely perfect with the placement and design. It's something that she's very passionate about, and it's something I think we're going to miss a lot in the Antelope next semester.
During the big boys, Zyra, Grace, Mitchell, and I were all in the newsroom late at night, and we were all just trying to figure out what we were going to do for sleep. And I think my favorite memories with Zyra are just the ones where like we didn't know if we should stay up or go to bed.
We spent all night in here, and we like needed a nap, and Mitchell dragged out the bench from the communication department.
She ended up falling asleep to the couch out here that Mitchell dragged in.
And Zyra took newspapers and put them over her like a blanket, and we were like, good night.
On a bunch of newspapers, and
we slept for like an hour to wake up and finish the newspaper.
That was just not a fun time, but definitely a memory that I'll have forever.
She is always just so fun to be around, and she's loud and very energetic, but she's also very organized, and you can tell that she's very passionate about the work that she does. yeah, just genuinely a real joy to be around all the time, and always good to go to for a random singing and dancing session in the newsroom when you know you're behind and you need a little pick-me-up.
She's very laid back and cool when she's not stressed, I've learned. Yeah, and she's just super nice, loves Harry Styles. And that's Syra.
Kylie has always been very warm and friendly. Specifically things that stand out to me, like this year, just like newsroom bonding, she would bring in her Switch and we would play fun, like Wii Sports kind of, and I remember playing tennis with her, and she always just really brought a good, positive energy to the newsroom that I really appreciated.
Kylie's really cool person, awesome taste in music, probably one of the very few in the Antelope who have a similar taste as I do, so we're able to kind of connect through that, and yeah, just a cool person with a lot of talent in photography.
Kylie has really emerged this year as photo editor, and I've really been proud of her accomplishments. I had Kylie in reporting class 2 years ago, and of course with the pandemic, sometimes some of those intervening years blurred together, but she got involved in the newspaper last year and really emerged this fall as a top-notch photographer, really a great manager of the photo department. It's been really a solid fall semester. I love it when kids graduate. Sometimes I love it a little less when they graduate early, but she's going to do great things, and she's already set up working for Buckle in their photo department. So she's been a real success story for our program and the Antelope. I'm very proud of her.
Kylie, she's fun. Another person I didn't know very much coming into this semester, but we had a couple group projects together and doing photos. She got a couple pictures of me playing my athletics too, even though I wasn't ever playing. So that was really cool. And Kylie's another one of those people that I wish I knew sooner because it's just fun to be around.
Photography is truly Kylie's talent and her golden egg. She can do all sorts of things, but I know that she's going to go far in life with that talent, and I'm very grateful that we've had her on this staff because she's taken the time to train other people and just really give back to our department. She's really come out of her shell, and it's been so great to get to know her as a person.
When I think of Kylie, I think about how infectious her giggle is. When we get going, it just leaves me feeling great because she's just an awesome person to be around. She's another one where if you ask her for any help whatsoever, she will stop what she's doing and take a moment and sit down with you and help you. She'll always volunteer to work and to help you, and I can think of no one else who would do that like Kylie does.
In New York, we wanted to go to the Statue of Liberty on the last day of our trip, and so we didn't have a whole lot of time before we got on the airplane, and we didn't know how the ferry system works, so we ended up just kind of having to run to the statue and run back. So I think that's kind of my favorite memory of with Kylie on that trip.
Mitch, what a fun guy. I think he has a bright future. All the theater stuff he does is really cool, and I'm going to miss Mitch. I wish I got to know him a little bit longer.
He always gave an interesting perspective. He always had, more like the philosophical thought that nobody was thinking of at the time. He's a deep thinker. Sometimes you need that, and there's a lot of times when he's willing, he's ready, he's able, and he likes to challenge your worldview, your thinking. Keep doing that.
Yeah, we've been through a lot, made a lot of memories in this room, started as freshmen, kind of learned together. So it's kind of crazy to think of him leaving. I walked into this department with Mitchell Learman, and it's crazy that I'm not walking out of the department with them. He's walking out before me, but kudos to him, and I wish him the best of luck.
He has such good ideas, and he is a really creative person. I think sometimes getting him to actually act on those ideas, he needs a little bit of prodding. But it always turns out well. You can always tell how much passion and just care he takes with all of his projects, no matter what it is, from assignments to projects we have done for like the river or for Dr. Harner. You can just tell how much he cares with his work.
Cool person, all around really cool. Definitely kept me sane amongst the other theater kids during like strike and stuff. In the earlier productions, definitely in the fall and spring of 2022. I had the honor of having a room with him while we were in DC, and I got to learn a lot more about him and his interests in life, and much deeper of a thinker than I am, I can say in certainty, but he has a really good heart, really good person. I think probably my most fond memory with him is him, Grace, and I, over the last couple of weeks, being in the newsroom, excuse me, super early, honestly, in the morning at like 3 a.m., having not left the newsroom, just working on homework or whatever needs to get done for the next day.
One time, Mitchell Learman spilled Mackenzie's little Zen garden that she had, and we were using KLPR stickers to get the sand out of the carpet because we didn't have a vacuum in here. And that was a rough night for Mitchell.
I know Mitch and I had a bonding moment over socks because we both are we both really like fun, stylistic socks, I guess. So he showed me his website and we both got really excited talking about where we get our cool socks from.
Mitch was funny just because he says the most out-of-pocket things all the time. And he also, there was one day that Kylie and I were in here and they were just bouncing off of each other about their favorite Christmas music, and it's just fun to listen to them talk about what they're passionate about. And Mitch, I've gotten to know him more this semester, and he's really fun to be around, and I think that he has a very good work ethic, and I can't wait to see where he goes beyond UNK.
His nomination for a College Media Association Pinnacle Award is one of the top awards the newspaper has won since I got here 5 years ago. It's been one of those things that we really have been striving for. It's great winning our local awards in the Golden Leaf contest, but we also want to compete against big schools across the nation, and he really set that bar, and that we hope to be the routine thing that happens in the future, that we're always competing, that we're always up with the biggest schools in the country and demonstrating we are as good as they are.